La 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 la. Oh, hi, Political Storytime Lady.
Hello, Shediac. Would you like to hear a story?
Heck, yes, I would.
Good. This story is called Childcare.
Yay!
Long ago, in 2006, the Harper government came into power, and one of their first moves was to scrap the previous government's plans for a national public childcare system, despite the fact that it was favored by a majority of Canadians. They replaced it with the Universal Childcare Benefit, or UCCB, of $100 per month per child under 6.
Wow! $100!
Harper said that the UCCB will let parents choose the childcare option that best suits their family's needs.
He sounds like a robot.
Government should help parents with choices, not limit them. In fact, the only people who should be making these choices are parents, not politicians, not the government.
That sounds good. Good idea, robot.
But Shediac, if a family is able to find a childcare space, fees range from $600 to $1,500 per month. How does a $100 check provide choices?
I guess it doesn't.
The UCCB is not about childcare. It is an income support for parents, and since it counts as income, families must pay tax on it. Perversely, since it is taxed in the hands of the lower-earning parent, the UCCB may provide more money to high-income earners than to truly needy families.
I don't understand.
For example, meet Family A. Family A has one parent who stays at home looking after the kids and can afford to do so because the other parent has an annual salary of $100,000. This family gets to keep all of its UCCB money.
Yay! Go Family A!
Meanwhile, Family B includes a working poor couple who make a combined $35,000 a year. This family will see their UCCB checks reduced after taxes.
What? That's not fair.
From 2006 to 2009, the federal government has spent $7.5 billion in direct funding to parents. There is no public accountability to demonstrate that this money is improving childcare services in any way.
Billions of dollars of public money spent with zero accountability? And Harper calls himself a conservative.
The reality is that childcare is a necessity for most families. At the beginning of the 21st century, over half of Canada's children were in some sort of childcare. That means they were being looked after by someone other than their parents or legal guardian. A quarter of Canada's children were in daycare centres. Shediac, how do you think Canada ranks compared to other developed countries when it comes to childcare?
We're number one.
Actually, Shediac, Canada ranks last, in a tie with Ireland when compared against 25 other developed nations' childcare services, according to a 2008 UNICEF report card. Of 10 benchmarks needed to ensure that children get off to a good start in life, Canada failed 9 of them.
What? We came in last? You mean we were behind Slovenia and Mexico? Those countries have way less wealth than Canada.
A June 2010 study conducted by the Education International Early Childhood Education Task Force concluded that in Canada, the quality of early childhood programs varies greatly and is for the most part mediocre to poor.
That's crappy.
Can we all say that together? Crappy.
Crappy. Crappy, crappy, crappy.
Availability of childcare spaces varies widely across Canada. In Montreal, 45% of children have access. In Saskatchewan, that number is 6.9%. Fewer than 7% of children have access to quality childcare. In Toronto, it is 13.6%, and in Halifax, 10.9%. A $100 check doesn't help families buy services that don't exist.
Crappy, 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 crappy.
Okay, Shediac.
Sorry. My bad.
This situation situation is far worse for children with disabilities. An overall lack of funding results in even fewer spaces available for special needs children and a shortage of trained staff. Investment in childcare is an investment in prosperity. The Harper government's 2009 stimulus package committed $12 billion in infrastructure spending, but included nothing for social infrastructure, such as education and childcare.
Ugh, what a lame-o.
Providing quality, affordable childcare to Canadian families yields economic and social returns due to immediate job creation, children's increased performance in school, and their parents' workforce participation. A 2009 study by the Center of Spatial Economics shows that government investment in childcare grows the economy and the GDP, creates jobs, and pays for itself. According to the study, a $1 million investment in the childcare sector results in 4 times the number of jobs created with an identical investment in the construction sector.
Oh, gosh. Hey, has Harper done anything to create childcare spaces?
The Harper government has a tax incentive plan to encourage community groups and employers to create private childcare spaces. A similar plan under Mike Harris's Ontario government failed utterly when no businesses could be convinced to take the bait.
Oh, why was that?
Companies and nonprofit groups were promised a $10,000 tax credit for every childcare space they created. Firstly, nonprofit groups don't pay taxes, so how a tax credit of any amount was supposed to help them is unclear. Second, childcare experts estimate that quality childcare costs $20,000 per space in Toronto and up to $40,000 per space in Vancouver. To date, 0 childcare spots have been created this way.
Sounds like Harper needs math lessons.
Quebec is the only province to have a universally subsidized childcare plan. The center's costs are 80% subsidized by the provincial government, and low-income families who are receiving social assistance can get up to 23.5 hours of childcare per week for free.
Free? Wow! Wow, that's way better than a stupid $100.
Replacing childcare with checks is not a solution. Millions of childcare spaces are needed across Canada right now. Access to childcare reduces poverty and the use of social assistance by allowing parents to work.
Sounds like Stephen Harper's inadequate childcare strategy results in less choice for families, not more.
You know what the moral of the story is?
Oh, I know. Stephen Harper is the worst PM ever.
That's right.
Crappy, crappy, crappy. Crappy, crappy, crappy. Crappy, 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 crappy. He's so crappy. Crappy.